Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. So as many of you probably already know, the CDC has had their Conditional Sail Order in place for almost a year now. And what it did was make it so that the CDC could control the way the cruise lines were able to restart cruising. They listed the protocols and had all of these requirements that the cruise lines had to meet in order to be able to sail with passengers again. That order was set to expire on October 30th, which is just coming up here Saturday. And it has been extended now to January 15th of 2022. There's a couple of changes that go along with that. So first of all, now instead of applying to all of the cruise ships, it only applies to the foreign flagged cruise ships who want to be able to sail in U.S. waters, who take more than 250 passengers, and who want to stay overnight in U.S. waters. And so basically that applies to all of the foreign flagged cruise ships. It doesn't apply to the American flagged cruise ships. There are only just a very few of those. And so the other thing that is the big change with this is they had the requirement that if you were not going to be doing your test sailings where you practiced going on a short cruise, practicing all your protocols, if you were not going to do that, you had to sail with at least 95% vaccinated crew and passengers. So now they are going to allow that if a cruise line wants to, their ships that have been sailing at that 95% level can go ahead and follow a 60-day transition to having fewer than 95% of passengers vaccinated. They'll still need to have at least 95% of their crew vaccinated, but they will be able to do that and they won't have to do a test sailing. Now, as part of that, the cruise lines are going to have to let passengers know who booked cruises thinking that they were going to sail at a 95% vaccinated rate, and they'll be sailing at a lower vaccinated rate. So they'll need to let them know, and I am sure that cruise lines will figure out a way to let them get their money back as a future cruise credit, or just get all of their money back if they don't want to sail under the new percent of vaccinated passengers. Does that make sense? And so those are the two big changes. And then also the CDC is intending, they say that on January 15th, when this one is set to expire, that after that, they do not plan to extend it, that it will become voluntary for the cruise lines to follow the protocols that they have set forth. Now, there's two thoughts that I wanted to add to this that I find really interesting. First of all, you will note that before this was even extended, the cruise lines have announced that through February 28th of 2022 that they are going to be following these protocols. And so I think that it's pretty clear that even when these protocols, when the Conditional Sail Order, if it does expire on January 15th and they don't extend it, I think that the cruise lines are going to continue to follow these protocols because it has been proven that they really do work. They want to do everything they can to keep all of their crew safe and all of their passengers safe. And so I think that they're going to continue to follow them. And then the other thing I wanted to let you know is that right now there are 47 cruise ships sailing in and out of U.S. ports. And that is really quite a few. And so since from June 26th until to October 21st of 2021, there were 1,359 cases of COVID, which on one hand you think that is an awful lot. But really, when you consider how many passengers they have carried, which is over 500,000 now, I was like trying to add up how much each of the cruise lines have carried, and it is a lot of passengers that they have carried now since cruising restarted. And so they really are doing an amazing job of keeping the crew and the passengers safe and being able to manage what is any cases that have happened on any of the cruise ships. And so I think that they have, like I said, they have proven that those are really working. Another thing that I think is maybe noteworthy, and I didn't read this anywhere, it's just my thought, as well as the other thought that I just shared with you, is the fact that, you know what, cruise lines have been through an awful lot. they have had to cancel so many cruises and rebook so many cruises and change things around that I really think that, at least for a little while, if things are working really smoothly and they're able to mitigate the number of cases that they've got on board, I would be surprised if they start sailing at a significantly lower vaccinated percentage of passengers, at least in the near future, because it's been working for them. They don't want to have to cancel a bunch of cruises. They don't want a bunch of people canceling their cruises because they are lowering the number of vaccinated passengers. So I think that those are two noteworthy things to go with this. And then a couple of other notes that I have for you and how I really think this affects us is, you know, we kind of, to go cruising now, you kind of have to decide what risks you are willing to accept. And in my estimation, I think that you accept different risks when you get on a cruise that is, you know, 95 to 100% vaccinated as compared to getting onto a cruise that would be take, you know, more than that, you know, much fewer passengers who are vaccinated. And so we kind of need to decide where we are again, because it seemed like for a while we were kind of deciding the same thing, but as we get further down the road, we're going to have to decide if we're comfortable at cruising on a ship maybe with half, you know, of the people vaccinated and half not. And so we're just going to kind of have to like navigate this, and I think it's just going to be an ongoing process to see how things change and how comfortable we are with sailing and decide if we will go or not. The other thing that I think we're going to have to really look up is kind of take the long view. You know, when COVID first started back in March of 2020, I was naive enough to think that we would be done with it in not very long. And it comes, you know, now we are in October of 2021, and clearly this is going to be an ongoing thing that we are going to have to manage for a really long time to come still. And so we need to be flexible, and we need to be patient, and we need to really kind of take the long view with this and realize that some of these protocols might be in place for way longer than any of us ever suspected when the cruising restart happened. And so just be patient with it. And if you don't really want to do the protocols, that is entirely okay. I was thinking about it, and there are other vacations that you can take. You can, you know, just fly to an all-inclusive resort. You can go on a road trip. There are just lots of things that you can do. Go visit a city, you know, fly somewhere and just visit that city, whatever you would like to do. But just kind of find something that makes you able to go on a vacation to relax if that's what you would like to do, or stay home and save up your money a little bit longer and do something fantastic when you decide it's safe to go. But don't lose hope. Everything will be okay. And as I've said before, everything is okay because we have Jesus Christ. But honestly, take the long view with this. Look at cruising and just take whatever chance you can to go when you feel comfortable. And that is my main message. And once again, the CDC has extended it to January 15th of 2022. And I am sure that if we have another bad variant take hold, or Delta starts causing way more trouble again, I think they might extend it, but we'll just have to wait and see. So I will keep you all up to date, and I really appreciate you all watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, will you please subscribe? I'd love to have you come along with us. And if you've appreciated this video, will you please give it a thumbs up as well? I'll be talking to you again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.